Alright, y'all, today we're going to react to this fucking Prager U video. I don't know why. It's just going to piss me off, but they released it 12 hours ago, so hopefully I can get on that YouTube bandwagon early. It's going to sound like shit, because I'm switching it up, so I should sound better, but this is going to sound worse. I'm recording using my Bluetooth mic and streaming it to my headphones at the same time, so some bullshit doesn't work. I'm going to get a mic soon. Don't worry about it. But here we go.
I've been training to be a championship sprinter since I was 8 years old. With the help of my parents, my coaches, and my teammates, I did it. By sophomore year of high school in 2018, I was one of the top 5 female high school sprinters in Connecticut. But
Sounds like she was like the best. Because when you say top four, if you were really the top four or top three, she's the fifth best sprinter.
then, one day, I wasn't. At the state championships that year, 2 people passed me, passed all of us girls, literally. They finished first and second in our races, dominating the field. Were they more motivated? Did they train harder? I don't think so. But they did have an edge, a big one we couldn't match.
Wait. Did they train harder? Or were they more motivated? What kind of bullshit is that? To say they probably, I almost guarantee it, trained just as hard and just as, like, kind of bullshit is that? To think that you are doing something better than everybody else. I'm the best. I'm the one that's working the hardest. I deserve to win. You know, like, what are you talking about?
They were biological boys who said they were transgender girls. Do you think that's fair? Males can.
I'd love to see a picture of these people. Not because I think that it matters what you look like, but because I bet these women have gone on hormones, you know.
Competing against females? Before you make up your mind, let me tell you a bit.
Oh, let's go back 2 seconds. They're not males, they're females.
Against females? Before you make up your mind, let me tell you a bit about what it took for me to become a top female sprinter. It meant training with my team every day after school for at least 2 hours,
Oh my
working to
god.
shave fractions of a second off of my time in the
I feel
100
so
and 200
bad.
meter dash. It meant not hanging out after school or going out with friends
I imagine those two transgender women haven't had to deal with anything in their life comparable to not hanging out with their friends.
on the weekends. It meant getting up early every Saturday morning and competing all day at a meet. It meant not.
What the fuck what did the transgender women do? Did they go through some magical process where they didn't also have to put in the same amount of work?
Indulging in any of the things that might cost me my dream. And here's the thing about the 2 biological males that took the top 2 girls' medals in the state of Connecticut. Their times were not even good enough to qualify them to compete in the state championships on the boys.
We're talking about Connecticut? How fucking hard could it be to be the best sprinter in Connecticut? Let's come on. Come on. Connecticut? There's like 100,000 people in the whole state of Connecticut. What is this? I, I don't know what her time is, but I bet you it wouldn't even be top 50 in New York, you know, or top 100 in Texas. You know, like it's just crazy that she's really gonna the opportunity of a lifetime to be the top sprinter in Connecticut. Like, who cares? Who fucking cares?
Team. Let me say that again in case you missed it. Their times were not good enough to qualify them for the boys' state
Because they weren't boys.
championships. But 2 years in a row, they won first and second place competing against the girls. All in all, these 2 biological males won 15 women's state championship titles.
Damn, that's gotta be a record. It's too bad no one cares because it's in Connecticut.
Some in the media have accused me of being a sore loser.
You're literally trying to take away these people's rights because you lost a race. You're definitely a sore loser.
They tell me to run harder. But
Yep.
the biological changes that males go through during puberty are so significant, they gain an insurmountable advantage in strength and in speed. That's why boys always competed against boys and girls against girls. US runner Allison Felix is an inspiration to me. She's the fastest female sprinter in the world. Her lifetime best for the 400 meters is 49.26 seconds. But based on 2018 data, Nearly 300 high school boys in the US alone could beat that record. What we
Okay. Could you? Were you going to be the next Allison Felix? Or were you competing in the state of Connecticut where you were like the fifth best to begin with? Hmm.
we are talking about then is not just boys taking women's trophies, though they are. And we aren't talking about biological boys taking women's athletic scholarships, though they'll do that too.
I don't care.
When biological boys are allowed to compete against girls in sports like track, where the differences in performance are so great, we are talking about girls getting shut out, never getting the chance to win or even compete at all. When two
You got to compete. You didn't win. You lost, bitch.
biological boys took the first and second place spots against me in the 2019 Indoor State Championship, I lost the opportunity to participate at the New England Championship.
Where you would have lost too.
I lost the chance to be scouted by top coaches.
Because scouted, who cares? You wouldn't have fucking. All, track, especially, they should just be able to look at a spreadsheet and tell if you're going to get a scholarship or not, right? Like it shouldn't matter if you like happen to be the fourth best because of your like region or whatever. If you would have came fourth in Connecticut and then fourth in New England, right? They're still going to give you the same opportunities because you were fourth in Connecticut, you didn't get to compete in New England. Like it doesn't make sense. If she were able to get these scholarships, she would have got them. She's not talented.
Possibly even to win scholarships. Right now, biological boys are being allowed to set records on the girls' team, deleting girls' records, erasing the achievements of actual girls, and setting
Actual girls. Uh-oh.
a standard probably no girl can meet, no matter how much she trains or how hard she tries. The reason that we have girls' sports in the first place is to give female athletes with talent, hard work, and dedication an equal opportunity to shine and be recognized.
Is that why we have female sports? I thought we had female sports because, like, as a child, playing games are fun. Like, I thought that was the reason. Like, you realize that these problems that you're facing, that you won't be able to get into college because you can't run fast enough, are not problems in the developed world, other places. Like, in most countries, if you had just worked hard in the classroom, you would have been able to go to the next more important classroom for free. Um, you're blaming two transgender girls about like a systematic failure of the United States of America.
But girls will never have that opportunity if they are forced to compete with biological boys in sports like track and field.
You know, if those transgender women had been on hormone blockers when they were like 13, they never would have gone through male puberty. If only they had been exposed to transgender ideas when they were younger, they would have been able to accept that about themselves, and they would never have had the advantage that she is so concerned about now. Oh no. Is she going to make the case for introducing transgender people in schools? I bet not. I bet she's going to want those girls to compete with boys. I bet she's going to want that.
Softball, volleyball, or basketball. Women fought too hard for too long so girls like me can have the opportunity to compete on a level playing field.
Women fought too hard and too long for me to not be able to win the Connecticut goddamn indoor state championship.
Maybe worst of all, when girls try to object, when we point out the truth that
You're definitely not telling the truth.
biological differences in strength and speed between boys and girls are massive and real, we're called bigots.
Well, you're a bigot for like totally different reasons, but you're also a bigot because what is your solution? Do we like create our own special transgender leagues where they get their own trophy? I'd actually be fucking down for that. Uh, because that would be the normalization of being transgender. But really, the normalization of transgender would be, like I said earlier, if these young women had been on hormone blockers when they were younger, if their parents had been more open, I guess, if they, I mean, obviously these transgender women were quite in quite progressive families to be able to win 2 high school state championships because they must have been like 16 when they transitioned at the very latest. But I mean, I just don't understand what her solution is.
Administrators, teachers, coaches, and other students tell us to just keep quiet and take it. We are told a girl's place is to be seen and not heard.
Are you fucking for real? You're literally on PragerU. You're literally getting platformed to millions of people for you to have this fucking slide be seen, not heard. You're I can see you and hear you right now. You're talking shit.
Well, we won't be silenced. We are fighting back. With 2 other top female runners in Connecticut, I have filed a federal lawsuit under Title IX to protect the rights of women and girls to a fair competition on a level playing field. Please don't turn your backs on us, America.
You're literally turning your back on those women, those 2 women. You're like trying to individually single them out. Okay. Some part of me thinks for sure in the state of Connecticut there is a transgender woman who is not winning state championships, right? What about her? You know, these outlier cases are going to exist because of the fucking situation your gender norms have forced us into. It's your fault. Like, not obviously this one individual's fault, but it's your system's fault. You're fighting so hard to keep in place a system that's only going to lead to this outcome occurring more often. You should just fucking let us live life. That would be the easiest solution. Because we could go on hormone blockers before we hit puberty, and this problem would never occur.
This isn't about gender identity. It's about fair play. I'm Selena Soul for Prager University.
God, I hope everyone that's ever done a PragerU video gets executed. Peace.